Hey, what's up, Reefers? Today is a pretty exciting day for me because I have been waiting for this particular product to launch. It's the Biota Aquarium. If you have been on Facebook, your newsfeed had probably been blasted by their marketing campaigns. Essentially, what happens is that there's like a coming soon, and there's a lot of teasers saying that how they're kind of a all-in-one saltwater aquarium package where they give you the tank, the live rock, the fish, and even the corals, all agricultured. So what it is essentially that they partnered up with Fluval, and they're using their Evil line, the 13.5 gallon one. That's a newer one that just came out and is a beautiful tank. And they package the whole thing together so you do not need to buy anything from your local fish store. And I thought the idea is interesting. I'm a little bit skeptical at the same time because it really reminds me of some of the other Kickstarters, like the Jellyfish Aquarium that was really short lived. It has a lot of issues. The idea was good, but there are a lot of issues. So I really dug into it, especially since I'm interested in number one, the reef. Number two, I'm interested in all these startup ideas. And number three, just look beautiful. So I look more into the details. I see that they're getting blasted on the YouTube comment section. Probably because if you buy all the different parts together and source them from different parts, you can basically build the same system for a lot less. So they have been withholding the price until today, and that's why I was so eagerly anticipating this Monday, because I was really curious where they would set the price point be. And I was actually, I made a good guess, and I was spot on. So you will get the Fluval 13.5 gallon. Normally they go for about $150 depending on where you buy them. They'll come with two clownfish, agricultural clownfish. You have the option to go with one coral or up to four corals. With each additional one, of course, you pay more. You have the additional option of getting sea anemone. These are the bubble tip, either the green one or the rose bubble tip anemone. So now with the very basic package, and I have this right in front of me, the page that is, the basic package is $399. That comes with the tank, etc., all the mechanics, 1 month supplies of fish food, live sand, two salt pack, two clownfish, one goby. That's the jester goby, I believe, and one live rock. And that's $399 plus a $40 shipping within the continental U.S. So yes, I guess they would probably price it around $399, seeing how much the tank is, and understanding that they will probably do, I think it's like 3 separate shipment, getting all this stuff. And we all know how much shipping costs, so I thought that is a fair price. Now, a lot of people say that, hey, you can get all these stuff for so much cheaper. That is true. But then you also have to go out and then like source all these parts, and then you don't know how disease free or how healthy the fish are, as well as the coral or live rock. So you definitely take a little risk there. But I think that for someone who's entering the hobby for the first time, this is kind of a nice all-in-one solution. You don't have to run around trying to figure everything out. They package everything out for you, and I've checked out a couple of their tutorial videos, and it's really easy to follow along, and they're pretty well made. And just looking through the stock recommendations and the setup, these guys definitely know what they're talking about, and they really put together a really simple to use and simple to understand package for beginners. Now, I say beginners because anybody who has set up a tank before will want to set up their own tank. They would probably not do a all-in-one package that includes livestock, and most will probably buy an all-in-one package for equipment. But I'm sure they'll want to kind of stock the tank of different stuff. And of course, you can say that, okay, you can buy this Biotas package, and then in the future, you can start adding more corals or other fish into the tank. But that would actively kind of waive whatever guarantee that they have or any support that they'll give you, because it was made really clear that this tank is built to support these 3 fish, and they highly recommend customers to not add anything outside of what was already supplied. They want to limit the tank to 4 corals. And these 4 corals, of course, should come from them to make sure they're disease-free and healthy. Now, if you if you're watching this channel, chances are you are already a reef keeper, and if you just kind of think back to when you first started your saltwater aquarium, how long before you started loading your tank up with all these different corals, blasting by the number 4 corals? So limiting people to just under 4 corals seems like an impossible task unless that person just want a nice desktop display piece. And essentially, I think that is kind of their target audience. It may be like a young professional or just professional. They want something in the office on the desktop, a nice conversation piece. And they don't want to deal with trying to source all the different parts or like figure out what is what and how they all interact. They just want something that works and looks cool and is a nice conversation starter. And for that purpose, I think this will be a great product. And the price point is right. If you figure out all the research going into it, all the shipping costs, etc., etc. One fine print is that right now it's $399 plus shipping on Indiegogo, and that is already the discounted price for supporting a Kickstarter. Well, not Kickstarter, but for supporting a new project. The retail price is going to be 30% more or more. So I think they're targeting about $550 or like $600 when it goes retail. And at that point, I think it's definitely not worth it. At $399, I think it's still a fair price if you just want a easy entry into the saltwater aquarium world. So would I be getting this? Most likely not. It's a little bit too expensive for what it is. But I do really like the tank because I actually look into the tank after seeing that's the choice of tank for this project. And what I may end up doing is that I do have an 8-gallon tank sitting in the basement that is all-in-one as well, but this Fluval 13.5 gallon actually looks really attractive. So I may end up picking up the same tank, and then I may just set it up as a frogfish species-only tank. And I just put some of my overflow corals into this small nano tank. But I don't know, just a thought. But yeah, I have been waiting for, actually I've been seeing the Biota's, I'm not even sure I'm pronouncing it right. I'll just pronounce Biota. I've been waiting for this Biota Aquarium to release their pricing for, I say, 2 weeks already, because they do really make a really nice marketing page. The video looks really attractive, and the whole idea is pretty sound. So I've been waiting for the price to come out. Price came out, no surprise. I think it's a good price point for somebody who's just entering the hobby. But if I were to guess, I think 2 things are going to happen. One is that maybe it's just some office or like a company execs just want a nice conversational piece sitting in the office desktop, and they'll just kind of keep it as it is, and after a year or so algae is going to grow or something's going to go out of whack because they may not keep up with the maintenance, and it's going to tear it down, and that's the end of that. The second scenario may be somebody completely new to the hobby got attracted by how nice it looks, at least like in the video and page, and they'll buy this, and then they'll start looking at it, they'll look at it, they'll tweak it, and then they'll decide that this is not enough. They either want more corals, more fish, or just more control overall without being limited to saying that, I have to only keep this amount of animals in this tank, and they will end up upgrading. So I do see different audience group for this product. Overall, I think even though a lot of people blast it, I don't know why people are blasting it, because I do think that the price point is fair for what they offer, and they clearly know what they're doing. So that's my thoughts, and I don't even know why I was so excited about this project, but I am. I think it's great, and this definitely holds a lot more promise than the jellyfish arts. Or a while back, I think somebody was even thinking about doing a seahorse Kickstarter. Man, that was just looking at the tank setup and the plan they have laid out for the customer, that was just a terrible idea. But this is actually doable, and I think they're doing it responsibly, so that is good. Oh yeah. On top of that, they're saying that they're donating 1% to marine conservation, and they're releasing one fish for every fish that they're sold through this package. Okay, so I look more into it. The one fish they're releasing is a rabbit fish into, I guess, the fish farm area in Palau. Is it Palau? I don't know. I gotta double check. So, being the skeptic that I am, and that's actually makes me a pretty good reviewer in my main channel, is that most likely they're probably releasing the rabbit fish to begin with, anyways, to kind of either maintaining the ecosystem in that environment or whatever. But either way, it's still good, I mean, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty generous. For every clownfish that they sell, they're releasing one clownfish in the wild. Isn't that going to wreak havoc in the natural environment? That's also why I look more into it. But turns out it's going to be one rabbitfish released into the natural environment, which is cool too. Whether they did it before or this is something new, I think it's still great, especially since they claim that rabbitfish is a food source for the people around the area. So it's good. It's cool. It's just that I don't know. But I was expecting I guess a little bit more. This almost sounds like just like a marketing gimmick, saying that, hey, look, we're doing this, right? But the 1% towards marine conservation, it sounds a little low, but at the same time, it's not something that they need to do at all. So I still applaud them for it. So. All right, so this is kind of my thoughts on the Biota Aquarium. Overall, I like it. A little bit too much for what I want, simply because I'm a little bit more experienced in reefing. I would prefer to have more control for something that costs this amount. That's all. But for somebody who's new, or if I have a really good friend that is trying to go into a Reef Aquarium, right? This may not be a bad gift, and they're smart. They actually plan to deliver by November 2016. At least that's an estimate, and that's right before the holiday season. So I expect a lot of people to be getting this as a gift, and they're lucky folks. All right, with that said, that is my rambling and kind of my thoughts on the Biota All-in-One Aquarium. What do you think? I would love to hear your view, because a lot of you guys are more experienced in the Reef Aquarium than me. Do you think the extra cost is worth the no hassle setup, because they have everything shipped to your door basically, and to guarantee that it's essentially pest free because it all comes from the same place, all agricultured, and nothing's taken from the wild? What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys later.